if you look down here, well, it had a little, so yeah, it's actually clicking those now. Oh, I did that one. Yeah, so now it's running another one. And so you go through, I think there's, 40 or 50 that are already written. So it's just going to go through and keep looping through, and then it's going to give you a report at the end. And you can also see.
Their site's got to be bulletproof after giving everybody those tests.
Yeah, I'm wondering how they do that.
Dog food.
Yeah. I wonder if they have a separate, I didn't even see the URL. I wonder if they have a separate. Yeah. So, if you look down here, this gives me a report of all my tests and how they work. Now, so the thing that I like about this, where is it at? There it is this record button here. Because Wadden didn't have a recorder, it wasn't that great. So if I click record, anyway, the point of that is you click record, and you can record your test either inside here in a browser. It'll do the steps for you, and then write that to a script, so you don't have to actually write that all out by hand. It saves you a lot of time.
So you can write a single script and then make some permutations of that.
Yep.
Can you run those in real time rather than just look like it was running it
Sequentially?
Well, I mean, put like human interactions weights in there.
Yeah, you could put stops in there. As far as testing more than one at a time, I know Visual Studios does. I'm assuming this one does, but I haven't done that. Or you could load up, 100 users at one time, hit the same site, see what happens, see what breaks. All right, and then the last thing for Telerik was this is just brief. I haven't used this, but I had someone a couple of weeks ago ask me they didn't want SharePoint. SharePoint was too big, too expensive. Sitecore was too expensive. So they were like, "What's a cheaper alternative for that?" We just have a couple, blobs of text that we need to have end users update, and this was a pretty good alternative for them. So this is just our typical site here. If I click dashboard, it takes me to a page. I can create a new page. All right. I can create a list. One thing was funny about the list, since I do a lot of SharePoint, there's only 2 columns in their list items. It's the title and then the content. So they don't have all those columns like you would see at a SharePoint list. It's more, more for a piece of content somewhere on the site, and you're going to pull it from this. images and documents and so on. So I could do FAQs and so the last item is ASPOs. So my last project, we were doing a lot of word generation and PDF generation. So a user would type in text, fill stuff out, and then they had a certain template based on, you know, what they entered, plus that text got inserted into a Word document and saved into their document library for them. And then that started a whole workflow. So I don't even know the name of it. There's the Word API that's kind of in .NET. I don't even want to touch it. It's pretty difficult. This ASPOS tool is super simple. In like 3 or 4 lines of text, you can generate PDFs and Word documents, HTML documents. So it's a really cool tool for us. So let's take a look. So if let's do this one. Now obviously they have all the data already on their back end, so it's pretty easy for them, but all right. It's a pretty good looking Word document. And decide we want to do a PDF document. I mean, I don't know how much money this saved the client, because I don't know what a license on this ran, but it wasn't that cheap, or it wasn't that expensive compared to how long it would have taken me to build a Word document, because it would have been a while. So.
Do they have a tool like this for Excel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's aspos.com. Okay. And this is the other thing I want to show you. This is the PDF API they have for you. And actually, let me go back and show you this. So, right up here, that document class is theirs. So that's actually in the ASPOS namespace. So you just new up a document, and then you can do a doc save on it here and give it a name, a format, and then that response is just a string that we're sticking in there. And if you don't like that, the document itself has a lot of what I was showing you. You know, heading, text, all this through their API, and you can just set that through code or whatever. And then the cool thing too is between those different document types, you can just take one of those, you can do like document.save, send it in another document type, and it's going to know how to pull that stuff out and create the PDF. So switch it back and forth between PDF, Word, HTML. It's super simple. So any questions over the ASPO stuff? I mean, I kind of just touched on it. Didn't really go too far down into it, but you know, they have some reporting stuff, some charting as well. But oh yeah, for PDFs, and I used the Apache AOP, I think, open source thing one time, and it was brutal. And this is some, I mean, it's, you know, all object oriented kind of stuff I'm used to. So. All right, so I'm gonna open up to you guys, since this wasn't really about, you know, Telerik and